All right, so kind of what we figured out first were these pieces. Right?
Yes.
Cool. So then this area right here, these are all 5-yard increments, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of commonly refer to that as outer circle.
Outer circle.
Yeah. With me?
Mm-hmm.
And commonly refer to the yellow as inner circle. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So you have your little card. And so if the pin's here and you have 140, that's yours?
7.
Cool. 7. So if 140 is a 7, then you go 7 here and aim, right? That's what we went over first. If the pin is here, you have 120. What's 120?
Oh, 6.
So you'd pull it right back into the inner circle, 6 yards, right? 114 would be your number. If the pin was here, and you had 180,
9.
so you'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right?
Okay.
Cool. And then you kind of saw this a little bit on number 11. Everything kind of groups.
So even though it's 180, you'd still keep it at 180 as far as the distance, right?
Yeah, that one you would. Yeah, yeah. You saw that on number 11. Then on 12 or 13, we started talking about practice rounds. So what we did in the practice rounds is we just threw something on the green and we ran around it, right? And so right here, we don't really know, but we would say maybe this is a 1. You can hit it 3 feet. Maybe here be a 1, 3 feet. You get back into here, it looks more downhill. So let's say that's a 3. Back into here, it looks really kind of slopey. 3s. That looks like you're pitching out of a bunker to a downslope, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that looks more like a 3, right? And that could be anything, maybe a 4, right? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
3 or a 4. And then, up front here might be a 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what your yardage book would look like around the green. You know what I mean?
Okay.
All right, cool.
So if it's a 4, how do you calculate that?
All right, so let's go back to our 180 example.
Okay.
Right, so you got 180. 180 is a 9.
Mm-hmm.
So we start looking over here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we go, man, I still don't want to be in that joker.
9 from the edge or 9 from the point?
9 from the outer circle.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
9 from the edge of that. So we're saying that pin's sitting on the outer circle, right? So we're eliminating the 5. We're adding 9, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to modify a little bit more. We may not modify the full 4.
Maybe 2 more.
Maybe 2 more. Right, so that gives us plenty of leeway to have a very conservative target, a very smart.
Good 11 yards left, right of the target. Left.
Yeah. By strict discipline, you could say, by just pure strict discipline, let's say that some weirdo puts the flag right there, right? That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
And say you have 140 yards. So 140 would be a what?
7.
All right, so you immediately go, cool, outer circle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm taking 7 and going 7 here.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now I'm modifying a 3 off that, so I'm modifying 10. So if I hit my target, I'm going to have a 30-footer across the slope. Right? It's just kind of how you do it. Right? Because the reality is golf balls basically do that. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So you're aiming wherever you're aiming. You with me?
Mm-hmm.
But that's what they do. So when they take off, they go over here. They go over here. With me?
Mm-hmm.
And it's all approximations, right? So all you're doing is you're taking, all Scott Fawcett did was he just took tour data and he's going, all right, cool. So let's put a pin here and let's go 140.
7.
All right, so that means the golf ball could land 7 yards here, 7 yards here, 7 yards here, or 7 yards here.
Mm-hmm.
You with me? But shot patterns, when you pull balls, they always go further than when you push them, right? So the shot pattern is always like this. So you see time and time again with TrackMan. That makes sense? So if you're over here hitting this ball,
Yeah, I got you.
you with me?
Oh yeah.
So that means that a PGA Tour player could hit it here, 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 Right. So essentially, once you find a location, what's a 9? I mean, yeah, give me a yard. It's just a 9.
170.
Okay, cool. So if you're 170, your ball could come up here, 27 feet from the hole, or it could end up here, 27 feet from the hole, or it could end up there, or it could end up there. The differences are very minute. You with me? It's just the way it is, right? Does that make pretty good sense?
Yeah.
Cool. So we'll go to another hole real quick and do it. All right, so right here, uphill, 3 on. So we'll say 6 on. So if you have a pin sheet, it'd read like this. 6 on and level. So the pin sheet, it'd say like 32. Does that make sense?
32 is in.
That would be how deep this green would be.
Okay.
It'll tell you at 32. And then right here, this would say 6. And when they put a little line over it, that means it's right in the middle of the green, right? So we got 130.
So we're looking at 7 yards.
All right, so you're looking at a 7. All right, so immediately if you have 130, you're like, cool, well, it's immediately 131. Does that make sense? Before I do any math.
Because it's 6 feet on.
Well, because it's right here. Does that make sense? I got to give myself the 7. You're right, so I got 130 to this point. You with me?
Yes.
But my card says it's a 7. So it's immediately 131. I got to give myself a yard.
Okay, and then you use and then you add 7 to it.
Well, then you just start kind of looking. You're like, cool, all right, well, basically that's a yard on inner circle. I got 32 behind it. Right? So
Okay,
it's like,
it's automatically yard on the inner circle. Okay.
yeah, so,
Okay.
so, in other words, the outer circle is right here, right? Does that make sense? All right, so this pin's a yard on.
Yard
Outer circle.
Okay.
It's 6 yards on the green, but it's a yard on the outer circle.
Okay.
All right. So then you just kind of start thinking, I got 130, I got a bunker out front, and I've got a bunch of green behind it. So I probably don't need to be messing with a 131 number. Right? So let's see, do I want to go mess with the 137 number? Right? So let's just go ahead and add 7 to 130. So what does 137 look like to me? So now I'm looking right behind it. Does that make sense? Might be a little different club, whatever. So 137 doesn't look very bad to me, right? That gives me, like, legitimately gives me 137 to my place. I'm 130 to the flag. I'm 124 to the front edge of the bunker.
And what's the edge of the back of the green?
Well, it would be if this was 32 yards deep, then we've just added 7 to it. Does that make sense?
So then 25 more would be 1
to the back of the green.
62.
So there's no point going back there, right?
Okay, cool.
So we'll go to this flag, right? Pin sheet would say, it would say 30 on, and it would say 4 from the left. So the pin sheet would read 30 and 4, and then right up here at the top of it, it would say 38. That'd be the depth of the green.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, we got 90 yards.
So we are 5.
All right, cool.
We
So,
automatically have to come 1 in from the 4.
yeah, so we're automatically looking right here, right?
Yeah.
All right. So we're right here right now. All right, then we kind of start looking back here. So the numbers of 5. I got 90, right? So what happens if I carry it 98 by accident?
It's probably a
How-
2.
Okay. All right, so then we're going to subtract off, right? Because we don't want to screw that. We don't want to hit, it's like, would I rather chip this ball from here or would I rather putt the ball from here?
Definitely putt it.
Okay, well then, so you come right a little bit. You come right your yard, and then you kind of start moving this way. You're like, all right, cool. So now you're thinking 88. Okay. And then you go, all right, well, what does this look like over here?
Seems like if you miss it, it's going to be a tough one downhill.
Okay. All right. So in our yardage book, we might have marked that at 2. So you're looking at a 6-footer. So then you're pushing it right here, 2 more yards.
That feels good right there.
So now, yeah, there you go. So you're 88 there. Makes sense?
Ooh, all right. Good pin position on number 11.
So this pin sheet would read like this. It would read 38 and 6. 38 and 6. Total depth of the green, 44. We've got 180.
You must have a killer drive. 9.
Okay, cool. So if it's a 9, then the first thing we do is like, woo, we're going to modify over here 4, right? Okay. And it's a 9. I got 8 here, right? So now it's here, right? So the most aggressive play we could make would be here, right? Right. So then we're like, all right, what we got, bud? So we got, what's back here?
Bunch of trouble.
Okay, what's over here?
Tons of penalties.
All right, so let's call these 5. You with me? So then we're going to scoot this 5 more this way. We've already gone 3, right? Okay, so we're going to go 5 more. Right? And then how much are we going to back down off that 90, how much are we going to back down off that 80?
175. And if we're a little long with a draw, then it's a perfect shot.
Good luck. Yeah, because the shot shape's going to work like this anyway.
Yeah.
If we're standing here. Front right. 140.
7.
Okay. Pin sheet would read like this. Three on, 4 from the right. Right? Cool. So what's our number?
140, you said?
Yeah.
So it's 7.
Okay,
so
cool. So we immediately go 4 here.
Immediately, yeah.
Right? Then we immediately go 3 here. Right? So the most aggressive play would be right here.
Okay.
Right? Then we start kind of eyeing it out. Like, all right, let me give you green depth. Sorry. Green depth of 15. With me?
Yeah.
All right, so we've already moved that pin. It's no longer 140 to us. It is 144, right? So we've chewed up.
11 left.
We've chewed up 4 of those, right? All right, we got 11 left. All right, so then we got 11 here. What's this?
That's a 5.
Okay. What's this?
That's a 3, maybe 4.
Okay. All right, so then we're going to push this number a couple more. Couple more into it, right? So no longer is 140 the number. It's 146. So 146. It's a stock 9-iron right here.
Okay.
Right? Shot pattern's going to work like this. Make sense? So we've given ourselves, even for the push.
So that 146 is how many from the front, the outer circle?
146 would be,
I mean, from the edge.
well, from the outer circle, it would you go 2, right? From the outer circle, it'd be 2.
Okay.
So it'd be 4 yards from the outer circle.
So it's 7 from the edge of the green.
We don't. Well, the edge of the green might be. This would be the pin. The front edge of the green would be 137.
Okay.
Makes sense.
So we
you're looking
added
right
9
now.
total yards
Yeah.
to get to 146.
All right. So then the push, probably hold up, pull, and then everything else would be okay. That make sense? As far as T-balls, like you and I played number 15. You hit yours left, I hit mine right. Neither one of us were looking there. Right? So as far as T-balls, really what you're looking for is you're looking for 25 yards this way, 25 yards this way. Does that make sense? 25 yards this way and 25 yards this way. You aren't going to always find it, but in that world, you have these circles, right? So let's say if this was our 25-yard circle, then if we aim here, then we can hit it over here. So we'd probably be smart to kind of look here, because this is probably less worse than this.
Right.
Right? And if we nut it, you know, if you're sitting here, if you nut it and it runs through the fairway, sorry, bud. Does that make sense? If you catch it off the heel and it's here, it's still good. Right? Make sense? So, like, legitimately going back to that. So you're really taking this and you're turning it into a 25-yard circle. That makes sense? And so if that wouldn't do it, right? So if some of these balls over here on these edges would be in the water, then you'd be moving this alignment point over to there, right? And that way you're shifting the shotgun circles over here. Make sense? Balls go like that, they flare out. There's actually somewhere in here I probably have some video of. That's visuals of it, right? Inner circle, outer circle, right? Right, that's what you get in your head.
What did Boo Weekly say?
Huh?
What did Boo say?
Middle of the green there moves, bud. Middle of that green down there move. From there. The only other thing you have to remember, you got your 25-yard circles, you understand inner circle, outer circle, you understand tee boxes. It's like on par fives, you see this all the time. So basically, the way the architects do every golf course is kind of the same. They build a green, and from about 140 yards, anywhere from 130 to 140 yards, that number might change. They got plenty of room out here. There's plenty of this world. You with me? So when you start chewing in that, so 120, 90, 80, inevitably things start coming in. And that's where they put the stuff. So the architect's kind of saying, and this is going to be the same everywhere you go. We did it on 15 today. When you hit that 7-iron and you hit that whatever club, the other club, I can't remember. What'd you hit the one when you hit my ball?
Same club.
Yeah, you hit the same club. Okay, cool. And so that's all I was kind of showing you there, was that, like, the architect's like, hey, bud, if you can get to this green, go. Send it. Right? If you can fly that joker up there. Now, if you need to run it up there, I'd probably stay away from that. But if you can fly it there, fly it. Because none of that stuff's going to be too bad, right? Just don't fly it right, obviously. Just aim right here and hit it. But if you can't, then the architects sort of enticing you to try to lay it up into here. And that's where people inevitably play the par fives very, very poorly. Right? And that's just a mindset. It's like, if you can get there, go. If not, lay it up. And then you get all these weirdos that say, like a lot of college kids I coach, it's like, well, I like 90 yards. It's like, perfect, dude. So how close do you hit it for 90 yards? They're like, oh, man, I'll hit it 10, 15 feet. It's like, cool. Right out there on the golf course, drop 5 balls at 90 yards. Guess what? They're no better at 90 than they are 110. Does that make sense? It's just in their brain. They're like, well, I like 90 yards. So then, inevitably, like, those kids will end up laying the ball up here as opposed to just, look, don't even mess with that bunker. That make sense?
No, yeah.
Good.